This is Inside Duco, the business of boxing. I'm Steve Orsbourn, video producer for the New Zealand Herald. Back in 2000, I lived and filmed in the Las Vegas boxing camp with David Tua and Kevin Barry before the heavyweight title fight against Lennox Lewis. I hadn't seen Kevin Barry since the night of Tua's loss. I saw a lot and learnt a lot about the business of boxing, in and outside the ring. That's why I'm interested in the story behind the Duco boys, the verbose Dean Lonergan.
They got paid more money to fight down here in New Zealand.
And the reclusive David Higgins.
The Tua Cameron fight was the first major boxing event.
It's the first serious dwarf boxing fight. Please welcome Matthew Wood and Colin Lane.
What was going in your head? How did you think of little people fighting? Where did that come from, and why did you want to push that button?
One of our sponsors, we've talked about how much of a tough business it is. One of the best ways to reduce risk is to get sponsorship money on board because it helps cover fixed costs. And sponsors are hard to get, so you have to look after them, listen to them, keep them happy. One of our sponsors, Mike Morton, made a special request that we put dwarves on the undercard. And at first we were a bit sort of shocked and went away and had to think about it. We debated it, and we actually, when we looked at it from every direction, we couldn't think of a reason not to put them on, other than if we had a problem with the fact that they're a bit shorter than everyone else. And so we thought to not put them on, we'd have to be saying that we have a problem with them being 140 centimetres tall. So we thought, no, we're going to put them on. So the key was to find a couple of little guys who were keen to do it for the same reasons as everyone else, to get fit, have fun, going on a journey, get paid.
Hey, no different to Rosanna Arkle and Jamie Ridge, no different. All sorts of different motivations to Bill English doing this, through to Taua Nikau with one leg as a former rugby league player doing it. You know, all the reasons and motivations, they might be slightly different, but we'd like to think we're inclusive, and we think it's an important part to say, everyone, you know, why shouldn't they do it? Just because they're shorter than everyone else? What, you have to be 6 foot tall to be a boxer nowadays?
Little People /dwarf boxing is content being broadcast on Sky Television.
Yeah.
How does that fit in your mix of entertainment, sport, and you being a broadcaster?
Okay. There are lots of things on television, on all channels, that I don't think is particularly good. I don't think we sit in a role of deciding entirely what's good and bad. We have broadcasting standards, and we have laws that mean things are acceptable or not acceptable.
No law's been broken here. It's just how you fit comfortable with the payoff between the pay-per-view and the content that's been provided for that.
Yeah. I think they get paid. I think they're volunteers. So whether I agree with it or not, I guess the people on the night will decide, yes, I want to watch it, or no, I don't, and they can make that call. And it's one of the most purest decisions that they can make, really, because they have to decide to pay the money to watch it on the night.
I'll be honest, it was the further we got into this, like this is our discussions to start with going back 2-3 months ago. The further we've got into it with some of the treatment some of the media have put up, most of the media have been fantastic. But and some of the discussion that comes up, and it's like, I'm getting stauncher and stauncher. This really is about equal rights, and who the hell is anyone to criticise these two for getting in the ring?
You know, how's it sit with me? I guess if it was a genuine attempt to promote the cause of little people, then, you know, that's fine and fair enough. But you know, when it's the sort of same promoters are putting on the likes of Jamie Ridge and you know, the other various different types of entertainment style fights, you know, you have to, you know, I let people make their own mind up about that one. You know, I personally, it's not going to be a pugilistic fight. It's not that these guys have trained as amateurs for years. If these guys had gone to the gym and trained in amateur clubs, like you say, one's just given up smoking and drinking. I mean, you know, it's not a real boxing contest.
They're doing it for the same reason everyone else is doing it. A, because they can, and why shouldn't they? And B, for a payday, and why shouldn't they?
because traditionally, through centuries and centuries, little people fighting, these things have been seen as part of circuses, as part of entertainment for the bigger folks. And you've opened this up with respect of...
So dwarves, they're allowed to be runners, they're allowed to be swimmers, but God forbid, if we can't put them in the entertainment business.
Look, you get Hollywood movies, the Austin Powers
Yeah.
franchise of movies have featured midgets and dwarves and little people in a humorous manner. So Hollywood and TV shows are integrating little people in a humorous manner, and the characters are often comical. We're not. We're treating them quite seriously. They're being given the same professional training as any celebrity.
Because they weren't boxers to start with. These are amateurs who are now training to be boxers to do this. So
can I tell you what?
As if they're traditional boxers.
There is only 150 dwarves in New Zealand. There's not a huge amount of them. So it's not as if there's a whole, like if there's thousands of them, there's bound to be 10 or 15 of them actual boxers. We found one in the States who's a boxer. But you know, again, we run 150.
So you've got to create boxers.
Well, we've had to create them, and but we did the same with models with Jamie Ridge and Rosanna Arkle. They weren't boxers when they first started. The media took a real interest in them, and even put them on the front page of the Herald once the fight was over, and Shane Cameron made the front page of Sport. So you could say there's more public interest in two girls who weren't boxers than what the boxers were themselves. So tell me, I just cannot see the difference between what we're doing here.
They don't all live in Noddyland together like Smurfs. They're regular people spread around the country who make their own decisions as consenting adults.
Mixed metaphors there, but I understand your point.
It's offensive that the media would even be seeking third-party opinions. And anyway, the media did seek third-party opinion, and the Society of Little People, or whatever, said, and rightly so, it's none of our business. They're adults. They should be able to do whatever they choose to do. Good luck to them.
Two consenting midgets having a fight?
Well, we've only got one of them.
Nothing to complain about.
Matthew Wood is one of the dwarfs, and the other is Colin Lane, who's in studio this morning. And Colin, you have never done any fighting before?
Never.
No?
In my life.
You've never done any sort of sporting things before?
Nope.
No?
So you're doing this for the money, really?
No. Doing it for the sport. Want to try something different.
Okay, and your opponent, Matthew Wood, who's an early childhood teacher, sometimes gets mixed up with a lot of the students, I believe.
Oh, God.
You've known each other for quite some time.
Yes, I have.
Are you friends?
Are you friends?
Yeah.
Right. Or do midgets hang out together?
You hang out in groups or outings in groups together.
Groups of 7. Please tell me it's groups of 7.
Stop being a douche. I heard last night you're a bit of a cigarette smoker, a bit of a drinker as well. You've had to knock some of that on the head. Has that been tough?
Yep.
Yep.
You're a man of few
Feeling a
words.
lot better.
Have you actually stopped smoking?
Yep.
No way.
Oh, I've cut right back, but
Right.
How many a day now?
couple.
Got short answers. Everything about you is short.
Really difficult to chat to.
If you had to describe yourself as one of the 7 dwarfs, who would you be?
Name them.
Who is there?
Grumpy,
Bashful, grumpy.
happy,
I
jumpy,
reckon grumpy.
sleepy.
You'd be grumpy, wouldn't you?
Bashful.
Bashful.
Oh, cute.
Oh, sure.
Have you got a girlfriend?
Nope.
Would you like one?
Oh, anyone out there? I'm not worried.
Hey, well,
Really?
this could be it, mate. You get in there in that ring.
Have you had much luck with the ladies over the years?
Yeah and no.
Yeah.
It'd be hard because a lot of girls would pretty like to go out with taller guys, right? So it'd be harder to find like our boss Leon. He's quite short for a standard size man, and his wife's about a foot taller, and we always just laugh because it just looks silly. So it must be difficult, right?
Yeah,
To find a girl that's
it is.
of good height.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, well, listen. Well, best of luck for the fight, which is coming up on the 14th of June. I'm really stoked that you guys have got this opportunity. I'm sure, no doubt, there's some people that you think it's inappropriate or wrong, but you're both consenting adults.
There has been an extreme of taking the
I
mickey
thought the edge
and going
went over the top.
too far, and that provides, I'm being devil's advocate here, a template or a treatment or an expectation of that behaviour. So what is the line that you want?
Here's the deal, mate. Is that these prejudices exist because they haven't been included in society as a whole. If they were just a normal part of society every single day and they boxed every day, these questions all of a sudden go away. And all of a sudden people go, oh, you're actually there on your merits, which in our opinion they are.
I don't think it's the fault of Dean and I I think a lot of the reaction is to do with the views of the public and the media and their seeming shock that a little person would want to box or swim. Or
what's really interesting I've found, and I don't know about you, if you're over 45, there seems to be a bit of shock, or unless you're quite liberal. But if you're 30 or under, they're going, why not?
Yeah.
And I think it's, you know, as people, the younger they are at the moment, the more liberal they are, and the more think, why shouldn't they do it?
I think the response, I think, on balance, because we've studied the response, I think it's actually been positive in general.
Agreed.
Most people are saying, good on them, why shouldn't they give it a go? And I think it takes someone quite cynical or
Biased,
maybe prejudiced
bigoted,
to patronise a little person by saying, everyone else can do this, but you shouldn't be doing it.
Because fundamentally what they are doing is they're training hard, and they're training hard like everyone else we've had in the ring in the past to do two things. They're either going to hit or get hit. And how well this is perceived will come down to how well they perform on the night.